All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a Crescent, a Craftsman, and it's not bad condition. It's a 44809 half-inch drive. This part of it just barely, it's dirty, rusted up, locked up, but I'm gonna take this apart to clean it. Oh, the detent's bad on this one. Anyways, I'm going to take it apart, clean it, but I'm going to make I'll make a homemade tool. I've made one, I'll make another. I'll show you guys what I did. Maybe somebody out there can use it, can see what I did, and maybe can make one for themselves. It seems to work pretty good for me, and it's the tool to put the ball bearing on top of the spring that holds the cam, and I've been looking for one and haven't been able to find one. I know they make them. I know that Snap-on has one, but I want to make another for myself, and I'll show you what I did and how I did it. And it's real simple. It's, you know, just a little piece of metal. Anyways, let me take this apart. Start by this. Man, let's see if we can get a little closer. Maybe you guys can. Oh, I can already tell this thing's dirty bad. Oh my goodness. It is dry. This thing was set in some water. Well, maybe it'll come out, maybe not. Let's set this about half. There it goes. If you turn this about halfway to turn this cam, see how that cam turns? And this slides in and out a whole lot easier, just like that. See? Yeah, so you guys that follow my channel know this already, but there might be a new person out there that doesn't know. And this is where I have a problem right here. This detent, the spring is collapsed on it a little bit. So, I think before I soak this, I probably ought to give it on the wire wheel. Now, let's take this apart. Tell you what, let me get a Ziploc bag. That way I can show somebody. Everybody says it, and I've never seen it on a video, so I'm going to do it, and that way I can show somebody that may want to do this and afraid of losing a part. Because that ball bearing right there, I've lost at least 5 different ones here in my shop. I'm probably sitting on one right now, and I can't find it. Anyways, let me stop here and get a Ziploc bag. Okay. Right there. Slide it in the Ziploc bag. Now I'm not worried. The ball bearing, if it pops out, I'm not going to lose it. Let's see if, I don't know how this will look on camera. Boy, this thing's rusty. The ball bearing didn't pop off, but I didn't lose it. I'm happy I didn't, because it's in the bag. Then look how rusty that thing is. There. Normally what I do, if I'm working, so I don't lose the ball bearing, it's usually a steel one. I put it on a magnet, that way it can't go anywhere. I have lost 5. I've kept up count. Okay, there's the little trigger, it falls out. It comes out right here. See, it pulls right out like so. Easy peasy. And don't put this on a wire wheel, use a Dremel. Some of these are plastic, and some of these are weird pot metal. So be careful cleaning these up. I've actually eaten them up on a wire wheel. Okay, and the spring. See the spring? It goes down inside that hole right there. And that little ball bearing sits on top of it. Woo, man, this was nasty. All right, I'm going to, yeah, shoot. Might as well just give it a little carburetor cleaner. I hate this mat. I thought would stand up to the carburetor cleaner. Nope, it doesn't. I've got to find a better material. I guess I'm going to have to get a piece of laminate. Probably Wilson Art brand. I like Wilson Art laminate, and make a little top. Laminate Wilson Art and Formica brand are really good for a countertop if you're using lacquer thinners and things like that, because it holds up really well. Matter of fact, I use lacquer thinner to clean laminate. Why I'm telling you guys that, you probably don't know or don't care, but anyways, I've built hundreds of thousands of feet of, yeah, maybe not hundreds of thousands, about a couple thousand countertops, and I prefer Wilson Art brand. I like Wilson Art laminate. When people say Formica, that's a brand name. I hate it when people say Formica. They want Formica. You want laminate or you want Formica brand? Somebody out there is not going to like it that I said that. There's several companies that make laminate. I just happen to like Wilson Art. There's a couple. There's a brand in Oklahoma I can't get in Oklahoma. I had to order out of Dallas one time. Oh, that reminds me. For those of you that own a business and you have a contractor come in, or an architect especially, if you have an architect come in, specify exactly what you want in your building when you're doing the construction. And think of long-term maintenance. I hate it when they come in, they add on to a building, and then they change the lock system, or they change the door closers or the hardware. You got a building and you have 5 different lock sets. You could have 150 locks in your building and 24 brands. Nothing will match up. I hate it when architects do that. I've only met one architect, one, that was thought of the building construction and of the building maintenance in the long term. You can save tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in maintenance cost on your building if it is treated right, properly, thought out, planned out. I swear I think architects and some of the builders, they get together and, well, I know for a fact, I got a building I can show you. We put locks in. 1 year after the locks were put in, the lock sets on all the doors were obsolete. I couldn't get parts for them. Can't get parts for them. Anyways. This should look really nice when I'm done. This tool is no wear. It's just been abused. Just water damage. Okay. Somebody just didn't take care of the tools. Sorry, I'm looking to see if there's any rust powder or anything still left. I'm gonna do a good job on this. I may give this away as a Christmas present. Pretty clean. Better than it was, that's for sure. Lots better. Now. Oh yeah. I like it. Actually, this wrench doesn't look like it has much damage marks on it. Pretty good shape. Real good shape, actually. There's some rub. Looks like that's probably sat in someone's toolbox and just vibrated like that. I think that's what had happened. Yep. There's a couple of nicks on the face. I'm just gonna leave that there. I think what I'm gonna do is polish this back up again, polish this, and just leave the rest of it the way it is. Looks cool. All right, let's wire wheel this stuff. Gotta be careful not to wire wheel the top button on this. I don't like, it's a different alloy. I don't know what it is. It almost looks copper, but it's got a tin base. I'll use a Dremel around the outside edge right here, and then I'll use the wire wheel on the rest of this. All right, right back. Because if I lose this, the vacuum system will suck it up. Sometimes it's outside, sometimes that's it. Look, clean up now. I'm going to use Dremel wire wheel on this part of this button here, just because it's softening. All right, so what do I do? That's about all I can do right there. Now let's just put a little WD on this here. I want to try something. The rust, you can see a little, I don't know if you can see a little puff of rust come up right there. Actually, it's working. That spring's coming back up now. I need a 1/2 inch socket. Hang on, do I have a 1/2 inch socket anywhere handy? I normally don't keep tools out. Yeah, I got a junky one here. It's a Craftsman. Oh, no, it's 3/8. There's another 1/2 inch. Oh, it's Craftsman too. Yep, it's working. Cool, like it. So the spring was probably just stuck in there because of the rust. That's a world of difference compared to what the rust was before. Hot dog, got me some good tool. Said this will make a good gift for somebody. I mean, you could clean a complete tool and polish it with a Dremel. I mean, if you found a good old tool and you don't have the polishers and the wheels that I have, and mind you, all my stuff is junk. Most of it's used except for the polishing unit, which I bought that from Harbor Freight. But you can do everything with the Dremel tool. Just saying, guys, you find some old tools out there, just a little bit of effort, and you can have you a nice little tool. Doesn't take a lot. Okay, so I've got these cleaned. I've got this clean. The spring I'm not going to do anything to. It's in really good shape. The ball bearing, same way. I've got trash on it now from the magnet, but I've got to clean off. Anyways, I'm going to throw a little polish on this. Yeah, why not? All right, guys, I was just going to say, for those of you that want to try to buff, I'm showing a little bit of everything on this video. These buffers that I have here were bought at Harbor Freight, just cheap. The wheels, I think I got this one maybe Amazon, I don't know, maybe Harbor Freight. Same way with this one. What I do is when I polish, this stuff, this media here, I bought from Amazon. It's okay, it works fine. But this stuff from Harbor Freight works good too. I can't complain, plus it's easy to get to. I probably will not buy this brick stuff again just because it took a long time to get it, and this stuff works just fine. And I've got I call it a Scotch-Brite pad. It's actually a fibrous. It's not a grindstone. I think this one's 600 grit, and the other one over there is 400 grit. And I'll use this sometimes before I put it on the polisher or belt sander, however. You can do it many different ways. It's just when you work on something, you realize what you need to do. This just wore down wheel, I use it sometimes after I use this wheel. I'll bring it over here just to see how it'll brighten up after the compound. And I have a dust collecting system. This duct is hooked up. I hope I'm showing you. This I bought at Harbor Freight. This is duct directly outside, so it just sucks everything outside. Works really good. And the reason I use this is this stuff leaves a black, I don't know if you can see it, but it's really fine actually, the dust particles in the air, and it leaves almost nothing. So, and I share this shop with my wife, and that's her area over there, the bar area. That's hers, and when I first started, it was throwing dust everywhere. So I went with this. This seems to work pretty good, but I thought I'd show you that in this video. Someone asked me a while back about my system, so That's it. Nothing really expensive, nothing real high-end. 2 polishers, different wheels. I'm always looking out for different wheels. The system I got going right now, I kind of like it. So there you go. We'll get started here. All right, let me clean the compound off of this. A little carburetor cleaner. And then I'll make the tool to put it back together, put the ball bearing in. That's really what I wanted to show this video for, but what the heck. If I'm cleaning it, I'm showing how to do it, or at least my way. The polishing compound leaves a slight, I don't know, black gook on it, and gets it off. I don't know if you guys can see but it shines pretty good. I mean, it's not a brand new tool, I understand, but I could have shined this up a little better. It has I don't know, this chrome part here has a striation or some kind of line going through it. Oh well. Let's make, I'll tell you what, let's make that tool to set the ball bearing in there before we go any further. Alright, I don't know how this video will turn out, but I'm making a small tool to set the ball bearing in the Craftsman, a lot of different ratchets. And what I've got here is, I think this is 25 gauge and this is 20 gauge. And yeah, this is 20 gauge, this is 25 gauge, and it's steel studs. I use a lot of this in your commercial constructions, especially your fire rated construction. You'll have a lot of this in there. Don't need to be very long, actually. I'm thinking I can get away with a little piece like that. Yeah, see why not. I believe this, like I said, this part here is 25 gauge. It's a little lighter duty. Okay, where's my other pliers? Oh, my junky pliers. I need to clean these button pliers too. There's another one's rusted really bad that I cleaned up. Didn't do a very good job. I just want a little curvature like that. And I made the other one, I made this one and I punched it put a little ding in there. Really didn't need to. So let's try this one I just made. I'm moving everything off the table, put this back on. Okay, and I'm going to use, I hope this works. I'm going to use the bag. If you've never done this before, probably the best way to do it. I'm putting the spring in the hole. Spring popped out. Let me get a pair of pliers. My little needle nose. Stick in the hole. And then what I normally do is I take a little screwdriver and put a little grease, but this time I'm using this tool. And I guess it doesn't matter which side. So what I'm going to do, put a little grease on it. Stick the ball bearing on the grease. Okay. In the bag, I'm going to put it right there. Now what you got to do is this piece, your selector switch. See, the ball bearing's already fallen. I've been here. Been moving around too much. Sit on top of that spring. This goes in there. There's a slot, and I set it about 30 degrees because this part here is still a little dirty. I didn't clean the inside. That fits there, and you press the ball bearing down and slide this in. I moved the selector. Let's see where the selector's at. I need to put it this way. Can you see in the camera? Okay. Oh, my glasses are bothering me. So, push this down. Come here. Oh. Put a little grease on the end of this so I can catch that ball bearing. Push this down. Slide this in. Like that. But you see that? Gotta hope I got that on camera. See that? Now, you can move the selector back and forth. And the reason to use the plastic bag, and I've done it, if you've never done it before, it's a good idea to stick it in a bag. And I wanted to show you that I used a bag. The ball bearing, when you're not paying attention, it'll pop out. And like I said before, I've got at least 5 of them on the floor here. That's it. That's real simple. I made a little tool out of a piece of scrap metal, a wall stud, a 3 5/8. I believe that was 25 gauge steel. Now, I'll just grease this. I got Q-tips and I'm using my fingers again. Oh well. And just light film across this top because this top will ride down in here. Now, to drop this in, it will not drop in until you turn the selector dead center. There it goes, just like that. And it sounds good. Now, This part can go either way, but I can tell this was down. So I'm gonna just give it a thin film. Lay it on there. Get this bag out of here. Oh, it's a lot smoother now. It's still slick and moves. There's a groove. See that groove? That is for this keeper. Oop, there it is. Now, when you see it's pushing up, I need something underneath here because the button is pushing it up. So just put that underneath it like that. I'm going to just put a little thin coat on this. Won't hurt nothing. There. Center it. There we go. That's how easy that is, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason I always say ladies and gentlemen, because I do know I have some ladies that watch my videos. So, not many, but I do know some that do. Which is pretty cool, I think. I'm just going to throw a coat of wax here. Back this out a little bit. I think I got too close. It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell when I'm filming. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I present you 1/2 inch drive, Craftsman, VG, Victor George, 44809. It was dry, wasn't working very good. Selector works, turns, everything works like it should, no problem. The detent works. I showed that earlier with the socket. Let me get my hand. I polished it just a little. I didn't do a tremendous polish, but it's noticeable. It's clean. It's not rusted like it was before. And like I said, I was wanting to show, this is what I wanted to show, that one of my viewers gave me, man, I wish I could give him credit. I have to look back who told me, but said that, you know, either make one or buy them, and I've been trying to buy them and I can't find them. So got the idea the other day. I've made 2 of them now, one longer than the other, but 25 gauge 3 5/8 metal stud. It's what we use in construction. That's what we use, your fire rated walls. This stuff doesn't burn. That's the reason we use it in fire rated walls. That's it. Just a simple little handmade tool to put the ball bearings in. And I did use a plastic bag, so someone out there, if they're doing this first time, probably ought to do it in a bag. That way, if the ball bearing pops out, you don't lose it like I've done it. And I'm not too many people, you know, I don't have a whole lot of following, watch my videos, but maybe somebody might learn something from this. I showed a little bit of my polishing, how I do it. I've got a little over $1 invested in this, and a little labor. Everything works, and it's a good 1/2 inch drive ratchet now. It's worth every bit of 15, 20 bucks now. Nice and clean and usable. It's a good used tool. You know, the way it was before, it wasn't very usable. the way it was rusted and stuck, nobody would give much for it anyways. You know, $3. I could buy these at the swap meet between $1 and $5 all day long. And usually if they're rusted and locked up, $1. Flea market especially. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked this video. I hope I showed some good ideas, or maybe something someone can learn from, I hope. I may just go in and post this today. I need to post something. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I hope you like my videos. I hope you find them entertaining, and me not as much as a dork. Here we go. Have fun.